G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back to the ZiggyD Weekly. And let's skip the long intro this week because I have lots of pretty cool news. Now, I'm going to take my hands off the desk because I realized I'm like bumping the camera around like crazy. Anyway, first things first, yes, I cut my hair pretty much yesterday. Did it myself with a razor, as per usual, the No Life Gamer haircut. You know, when you want to be a full-time YouTuber, you got to save money however you can, and that includes cutting your own hair, but I do an alright job. So, first things first. First piece of exciting news, which leads into the second piece of exciting news. First piece of news is that I have switched networks, so YouTube networks, over to BoomVideo Australia. Now, I was previously with Omnia Media / SquareOne, which was a subsidiary of them, and they were really awesome. They gave me an awesome deal. It took me about a year to find a decent network that I liked, and those guys were really cool. So the main reason that I've switched over to Boom, however, is because they're an Australian-based network, and they're able to offer me opportunities in Australia, essentially. I'm trying to stop smashing that camera around. I have to figure out a solution for that. So yeah, pretty exciting. Now I'm gonna give them a little shout out here. If I can switch over to, bam, there we go. And let's I want to show the animation because it's like, boom. I love that. I love that. So yeah, you guys can check them out if you're interested, but unless you're a YouTuber, you don't really need to look into the whole network thing too much. It's not too interesting, but all that simply means is that lots of new, exciting, interesting opportunities are going to be coming my way in the future. The fact that they're Australian-based simply means I get a chance to network with other Australian YouTubers more easily. Yeah, Amy's cracking up at me because I can't say words today. You boopers. Oh man, the casual ZiggyD Weekly this week are much less professional than usual. Anyway, gives me a chance to network with other Australian YouTubers, gives me a chance to get into contact with Australian companies that are looking to, have their products covered, so Australian games companies and things like that, which, that pretty much includes Grinding Gear Games. They're based in New Zealand. That's Australia and New Zealand, they're pretty linked together, so, that's pretty cool, things like that, but, just more opportunities in general. And that leads into the second piece of news. Straight away, first opportunity from joining Boom is on Saturday. I'm going to be flying into Sydney. I'm being flown into Sydney by Boom, and I'm gonna go to Vidink. They're holding like a YouTube festival thing there, so that has like some workshops and things like that. I'll be able to go through those. They're setting me up with a ticket and everything, so I'll be able to maybe learn some new skills to making better videos. That could be pretty exciting. But more importantly, on the Monday, they're gonna put us up in a house. Myself with two other sets of YouTubers. There's Two Awesome Gamers, which are two guys that form the channel Two Awesome Gamers. I'll link them in the description below so you can check them out. And also the Gamer Sheep. These guys are both, pretty decent sized Australian YouTubers. Some of the larger Australian gaming YouTubers out there, and they're with Boom as well, the Boom Network. Essentially, they're flying us all out there, putting us up in a house, and then for the entirety of Monday, we get to sit on a couch. Put the new Diablo 3 console version into a PS3 and play it and record it. Pretty exciting stuff. So Blizzard has supplied them with a media early copy of the Diablo 3 console version. I don't know if it's going to be like a full game or not, or whether it'll be like a demo section like what they did before the PC release. But nonetheless, it'll be an excellent chance to actually try out the new console features, try out the new console version, which is very significantly different to the PC version. And I'm super excited to that. Firstly, this sounds like mad fun. Like, I'm going to get to sit there for a day and record a lot of footage and bring it back and put it on my channel even for you guys to check out. So it's going to be pretty exciting. If you're keen on checking that out, it'll be, pre-release footage of the game. So that's pretty exciting. Obviously a pretty big opportunity. But also, just in general, I'm excited for the Diablo 3 console release. I feel like it would make a perfect console game. That sounds like a bit of an insult in terms of it being a PC game, but it's pretty much the game I always wanted on console. Smash some demons, get your whirlwinding happening. The earlier Diablo was on a console as well, and I never really got a chance to play that, but I played a few action RPGs on consoles, and some of them were okay. I really enjoyed like Baldur's Gate and things like that, but they're a little bit different. But never like a Diablo-like good console game out there, and I feel like it's the perfect couch game, to play with a bunch of mates and have a pizza and things like that. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing, and I'm very excited to do that and bring some footage for you guys. love Diablo 3 or hate it or however you feel about it, that's I'm pretty excited for that myself. Anyway, so the next piece of news, we'll go back into some normal news now. That's the big stuff done. The first one is I'll be trying to record Monday Musings sometime today. We didn't end up getting last week's one done. We were talking about doing, me and Amy were talking about doing a dual one where we talked about maintaining a relationship when you're a hardcore gamer, but we talked a fair bit about it. We still want to talk it out a bit more and come up with some good musings to share with you guys. So we'll eventually do that one. But for today, I'm going to record one. I have a few topics listed out that I want to do, but haven't picked which one yet, so I'll try and do some musings and try and figure out which one I actually want to talk about. But pretty much all of them are on the topic of the future. Ooh. Because I've been on a massive like futurology fiction and fact and just stuff, reading a lot about different future tech and things. I've been on a bit of a binge the last few days. Like I started reading a new book called Accelerando, which is pretty awesome, really interesting depiction of the future, and I've just gotten to thinking about it all, and so I've been inspired, and that's what Monday Musings is all about, talking about things that I'm inspired about. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully I'll be able to get some interesting musings up on that, hopefully today. The next thing is the Infernal Blow Marauder guide. Let me bring my show notes up here so I know what's going on. I should be able to finish that off by today or tomorrow. I wanted to get it done by the weekend, but I've had to push it back a little bit to get some other stuff done. But hopefully that'll be done early this week. That's pretty good. Now that I'm switched over to Boom, I can actually focus on that now. That was the main thing that was holding me up, was the switching of networks, because it's a little bit awkward, but it went through all right. Next thing was, last week I did another hardcore death analysis video. It was Magliwang's level 91 Onslaught Death. He was playing a melee frenzy character, and it was a pretty interesting death, and a lot of you guys really liked it. It had a pretty good reception. However, I personally was kind of disappointed in my analysis for that video. I missed out on a lot of things that I could have seen if I just thought a little bit more harder about it. You know, when you miss things and you realize later, like, oh, it seems so obvious now. But so I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I'm going to try and put a lot more effort into the next ones and make sure that doesn't happen again, because I want to make sure that I'm putting out, quality content that I'm happy with for you guys. And even if you guys enjoy it, sometimes I have to be my harshest critic. So I'll try and make better ones of that in the future. Next thing is my final farming guide for Path of Exile before maps. So I did a Lunaris Piety farming guide. I'll put that in the description below. I'll put all these things I talk about in the description below. But that's up now, and that means I can start working on map guides, which have been long requested and something I've been looking forward to. I just wanted to do it in order. I wanted to get there and feel like I was actually ready to start covering that. Make it, make it chronological to some extent. So that's up. Hopefully I'll start those this week, or if not, next week after I get back from doing the VidInc and Diablo 3 console stuff, and bringing you guys some coverage of that, and pretty in-depth. I want to get pretty in-depth with this. So I'll start off with like a beginner's guide to maps, how to like roll your maps and things like that, and then I'll actually talk about each individual map. So I'll go through with a guide how to play the map and what things to roll on it, which mods are best, which mods aren't quite good, because it's quite a bit of complexity to it. For example, some maps maze is really good and some maps it isn't. Some maps extra pack size is really good, and then some maps it isn't. So it's kind of hard to know that until you've actually just experimented around with the map system a lot. So I'll be trying to bring you guys that information through those guides, and hopefully you guys will find it pretty useful. The next thing is there'll be no Final Fantasy XIV coverage until early access, which will be on the 24th of August. The NDA has not been lifted for the open beta that's occurring this weekend, which is honestly pretty good for me, because I'm obviously going to be away this weekend for the VidInc and Diablo 3 stuff, so I would have been screwed and not been able to give you guys any coverage anyway. So I'll just use the chance to do a little bit of leveling in that time. The max level is 20, but you guys should jump on if you're able to, and try that out and level your characters up a bit in preparation. Alright, let's jump into Q&A now. The first one comes from Adam, and it's very relevant this week, actually, a very relevant question. I was pretty happy when I got it. He asks, will I be posting, as in will ZiggyD be posting, any Diablo 3 guides on my site or channel for the Diablo 3 console version? He said he was keen to play the PC version, but didn't really have a gaming PC for it, something along those lines. But he, when he heard the console release was coming out, he thought that was pretty cool, and he was wondering whether I'd be covering it. And the answer is probably. I probably will be, depending on how this weekend goes and how if I think the console version is actually pretty good, which I strongly suspect it will be, I'll probably pick it up on PC and get like a capture card, or figure out how to connect it to my PC and do some recordings and that, because Now, I obviously have a lot of Diablo 3 guides on my channel already, but the Diablo 3 console version is significantly different. I think things like builds like your Whirlwind Barbarians and Archon builds and pretty much a lot of stuff that works really well on the PC version aren't going to work on the console version because they're significantly different in terms of mob density, items are different, the way you play, the angle, the way you aim, the way you click, the way you use skills, they're all different. So I think it's a very actually different game. So it might be worth getting some guides out on it, and I might do that as well. But ultimately, it depends on whether I feel like I'm going to be into the game and enjoying it. Diablo 3 is a game I will probably continue coming back to over time, but whether I'll continue coming back to the console version as well as the PC version, that's a question I can't answer yet. But probably, the answer is probably. So the next question comes in from Mark, aka Rumble. And he asks, I've been following your channel for a few months now, and you've piqued my interest in the FF14, but I'm having trouble finding a good overview of all of the basic parts that are going into the game. I'll keep researching on my own, but I've got the beta client to check it out for myself next weekend, but if you could point me in the direction of some good introduction overviews for Final Fantasy XIV, or cover it in one of my videos, then that would be great. Now, I totally agree, because I plan on covering the game a lot when the game releases and doing guides and things like that, but I think for MMOs it's really important to know whether you should be investing your time, money and emotions into it essentially, and that having a lot of lead up footage to the actual release showing just how the game works and all the different like minute details and things like that is pretty important, and that's something I have not done. I was thinking of initially doing it, but it's just something I think it's been done better by other people. And the primary person that I highly recommend to you guys and Mark to check out is Mr. Happy. I've done a few videos with him. I'll link him in the description below. His YouTube channel is Xenoheart something. Xenoheart and numbers or something, I think. But Mr. Happy on YouTube, Mr. Happy Final Fantasy XIV will bring him up if you search for him. And he has done a ton of really awesome lead-up content. He's used like screenshots, since that's the only thing the NDA allows at the moment. But he's covered everything, like from the different mechanics of the game, pretty much everything you need to know about the game before it launches. If you want to see that it's a game you want to invest yourself in, so I highly recommend you check that out. He's done a fantastic job covering the game, and when I did the videos with him before, I really enjoyed it. He was really awesome to talk to. He's a good presenter and very personable, so very enjoyable to watch. Even I watch his videos. Go and check him out. Anyway, that's it for this week. Hopefully you guys are excited for everything that's coming up. I'm pretty excited. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.